Girl, stop playing.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Stop Playing podcast. It's your favorite homegirl, Koereyelle, here to encourage you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. Because y'all know that I believe you don't have to choose. You can make the money and you can get the honey. You can have it all as long as you are willing to work. And y'all know it's always a special conversation when we have a man in the studio, because we get to hear the business side of things, but we also get to get up into the mind of the man. And my ladies love it. So we are excited to have the Moneymaker Mitch in the building.
Hey.
Michel Valbrun.
You got it.
I got it right.
You got it.
It was pressure. He is a CPA, tax strategist, and award-winning author.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to get into this conversation because it's a whole lot of advice around taxes on the internet that I'm afraid of, because it sounds like I'm gonna go to jail if I do what the people are saying. So we're gonna have a legal tax conversation in case the IRS is tuned in. Your girl don't have no parts of none of the things that's going on in these internet streets. But as entrepreneurs, if we don't know how taxes work, like that's one of the biggest benefits of being a business owner. So if we're not able to tap into it, then we're like playing ourselves.
1,000%. Yeah. I always tell people it's not how much you earn, it's how much you keep.
Yes.
And when it comes
baby,
to taxes, it's gonna hit. You know what I mean?
And I believe in investing in myself. I don't mind spending money, but giving it away, and I feel like I'm just writing a check for nothing, like that hurts my heart.
Yeah.
So we're gonna share hopefully some information and a conversation that will help y'all not just make the money, but hold on to that money so you can multiply your money.
Yes.
So besides an accountant, because I feel like most entrepreneurs know, okay, tax season is going to roll around. I need somebody to do my taxes. So I know that I need an accountant, right?
For sure.
But aside from an accountant, what are some of the other parts or pieces that should be on your money team as an entrepreneur?
So when it comes to your money team, there's a couple things that you need, right? So you mentioned accountant. That's one piece of your money team. In addition to an accountant, you're going to have a tax preparer or a tax strategist is what I focus on. And then also a financial advisor, financial planner. And that's, to me, going to be your core money team to really make sure that your accounting is in order for your taxes. Then you have someone to do your taxes and help you proactively save money on taxes. Then you have a financial advisor, planner to help you grow your wealth and your money.
So what is the difference between a bookkeeper and an accountant?
Well, a couple things, right?
Put some respect on my name first.
Hold on. So it's interesting that you bring that up. So when it comes to the accounting space, there's a lot of confusion as to who's in it.
Who's doing what?
Who's doing what? Who do you need to work with, right? And like Meek Mill says, there's levels to this. You feel me? So when it comes to a bookkeeper is someone who's keeping your books. Your books is going to be your accounting records, recording your revenue, your expenses, your assets, your liabilities, equity. That's going to be your bookkeeper, right? So basically, they're going to be someone who's working like in QuickBooks or an accounting software, putting in the information into the software in your accounting records. Then you have an accountant. To be considered an accountant, you have to go to school for accounting.
Got you.
To be officially.
What you got to go to school for to be a bookkeeper? You just got to be good with numbers?
You just got to be, you don't got to go to school for it.
Right. It's just something you can do.
It's just something you could do. Like if you wanted to be a bookkeeper tomorrow, you know what I'm saying?
Don't hire me.
You know what I'm saying? you can get in the path of becoming a bookkeeper, right? And doing people's accounting records.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to go to school for that. And in addition to that, so that's the bookkeeper versus accountant. But then you also have a tax preparer, right? And you don't have to go to school to do people's taxes. Right. So you see, like, even with the big chain tax companies or whatever the case is, like even on their websites, they say like the requirement is basically you have to be 18 years old. You don't even have to have a GED, high school requirement, because there's no rules around who could do it. Right. So that's like the lowest level. Right. But then on top of that, you have what's called an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is someone who took like a 3-part exam with the IRS. They know a lot about taxes, and they're specifically focused on taxes. So that's another individual. So if you see EA, that's what it means, enrolled agent. And they can represent you from the IRS and a whole bunch of other things too. Then on top of that, you have a CPA, right? Certified Public Accountant. That's the next level.
Gotcha.
You feel me? And that's a certified public accountant. In order to be a CPA, you have to go to school and have 150 credit hours, which means you have to have a bachelor's, you have to have a master's, you have to pass a 4-part exam with the AICPA, and it has a less than 50% passing rate, then you have to work under a CPA for about 2 years, depending on the state that you're in.
So legit. Too legit to quit. But this is the crazy thing. And I'm a CPA, right? Even that's not enough. What you mean? Not enough for what? Because I think that's all I got.
Nah. There's a level above that, because check this out. Even as a CPA, the education system doesn't really train us to help entrepreneurs and small business owners. It really helps us work in corporate America, pass the CPA exam. So there's another level above that, right? Because unfortunately, a lot of CPAs, you might hire a CPA, but they may not know how to help you proactively and legally and ethically save money on taxes. I didn't know that, right? So when I was coming up, I remember when I was doing like this volunteer service called VITA. So I was helping this couple for free. And basically, it's a program where you can help lower income individuals do their taxes. I'm doing the taxes for him. And the husband turns to me. He's just like, well, it's cool. We end up owing some money, but how can we save money on taxes? And I froze. Like, I didn't know what to tell him. I was just like, yo, I don't know. I don't got the answers. I ain't got the answers.
Yeah.
So with that, it really pushed me to like learn more about the tax code and learn how to proactively save money on taxes. So again, like I said, we're not really educated on that. So the next level above that is what I call the elite. All right. So the elite, it's an acronym. I love acronyms, mnemonics, because they help me remember things when I was taking the CPA exam. So the first part of that elite is education. So did someone actually go to school for accounting and tax? That's a good thing. The next part is L, legal representation. So can they represent you in front of the IRS? Enrolled agents could do that. CPAs can do that. I, integrity, are they following the tax code with integrity, doing things legally and ethically? That's going to be key. Are they telling you to claim kids you ain't got kids? You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of that going on out here.
T is training. Are they constantly getting trained up on the tax code? Last but not least, experience. So you need to work with someone that has experience working with small business owners, entrepreneurs. Years of experience is important too. Like how long have they been doing it? If they've, I've been in the game for over 10 years now. So do they have some longevity and experience in the industry? But that's kind of who you need to work with. But there's so many different types of individuals. So it just depends on where you're at with your business, what your budget is.
What season you're in.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like this is just getting more expensive, just more and more expensive. But when you're making more money, you have to pay the cost to be the boss.
Right. Well, and you also have to see, especially too, let's say you're working with that elite tax professional, right? And they're helping you, all the people who are the elite level, they know how to do tax planning. Right. And basically what that is, it's not really a cost, it's an investment. Right. So you spend a little bit of money, whatever the case is, or you invest some money into working with this individual. It's a tax write-off anyway. So you could write it off, deduct it, but then they can show you how to proactively save money on taxes. Right. They can give you strategies and say, hey, this, if you put your money over here, if you do this, do that, then you end up making that money back. Right. Let's say you invested $5,000, whatever cases, they can show you how to save 50, 100,000.
Well worth the investment.
Then it's an investment. Versus tax prep, it is a cost. They don't do nothing. It's just compliance work. You just send it off to the IRS, and that's about it. They're
prepping your taxes, but they're not really preparing you for the next year for how you can avoid all of the problems. Yes. So let me just tell you what scares me as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. I recently, like, we all know the MC Hammer thing. That is scary, right? I recently watched an episode with Nicole Kane, formerly Nicole Bitchie, and she was talking about how the IRS like showed up at her door, like pulled up in real life, not sent an email, like pulled up at her door with a 6-figure tax bill. She found out that her accountant, I don't know what level he was on, might just been a bookkeeper, we don't know, but he was preparing her taxes and not filing them. Now my mouth dropped when she said that, because first of all, that's like unbelievable. I can't imagine that being the case, but I also don't know like why somebody would do that. But it's also very scary when I'm not a tax preparer. I don't know. I'm just signing off at the end of the day. I'm just signing off on what someone does for me. So how then is that person not at all responsible for their mistake? Like, how is it just skip over the person who did it and come to my door? Yeah, so it's basically both individuals are technically responsible, but the majority of the responsibility is on the taxpayer. Unfortunately, is the way the rules work. So he got to pay some of that money?
So the way, basically, when you sign off on that tax return, and when you work with someone who's doing your taxes, you're basically also signing and saying that I am responsible for this information. Because at the end of the day, you're the individual who's responsible for figuring out the taxes. but then you're hiring someone to go ahead and handle that for you. And unfortunately, there's situations where, you know,
that is so scary. Oh my gosh,
they do that. So
does that happen? Like, is that a thing? You've heard of this happening?
It's happened to a whole bunch of celebrities.
Why? So this is your like. Why would someone do the work to prepare the taxes and then not push the button? Why would you do that?
So in her case, I don't know, but for Fat Joe, right? So what Fat Joe did, it could be the same situation with her. So Fat Joe had a situation where his accountant was doing that for like, I think 10 years. And because, you know, he's making a whole bunch of money, you have to make quarterly payments, right? If your business is profitable, you need to make quarterly payments to the government, right? So Fat Joe's probably writing checks of $100,000, $200,000 to the government. But the government
ain't cashing them.
No, they not.
Wow. That's so scary. That makes my stomach turn.
So maybe in her situation, it could be because I know she has a successful business. She's probably profitable. She's supposed to be doing quarterly payments. So it could be the same situation to where that individual is like, I got you. Just go ahead, send me the check. I'm gonna take care of it for you, girl. And
girl, stop playing, because he did not take care of it. And that is why I think y'all got to go back and watch my episode a couple weeks ago with Janai Thornton, because she got in my ears about knowing what is going on in my business. And then literally the next day I saw this episode and I was like, yo, God, I see you. I see what you're trying to say. Because you can have it all together, be making all the money, doing all the things, and then you either hire the wrong person or don't watch the right person or the wrong person, you know, pretending to be the right person. And then 10 years down the line, you got a number with a comma in it that somebody's expecting you to pay. That is crazy. But having these conversations, I think, even with knowing the difference, because you can have a bookkeeper and think you got everything you need and then you don't. So I hired you a couple years ago thinking I thought he was going to do my taxes. He politely messaged back like, nah, that ain't what I do. Pulled up with like a 20-page tax plan that I had never even seen anything like that before, but it was like a comprehensive tax plan of like all of the deductions that you should be taking advantage of, all of the ways that you can actually build your wealth, maintain, you know, this money that you're working so hard to make. And that was my first time hearing about a tax strategist, knowing that that was a thing. And so for us to have this conversation where we can share that that's even possible, because a lot of people have accountants and you end up owing money, but you don't know what to do to avoid that the next time around. So I think that's super important. So talk a little bit about what a tax strategist does.
Yeah, so like you said, basically what a tax strategist does is they basically strategize for you, right? So we know that basically they're looking at your life, your business, looking at the regulatory requirements. Like there's all these different changes. Joe Biden's looking to make some significant changes to the tax code for individuals making more than $400,000. So it's going to be someone who's like literally focused on helping you proactively save money on taxes, right? So they're sharing with you ways that you can maximize deductions, like your tax write-offs. They're sharing with you what's going to be the most optimal legal entity structure for you, insurance, legal loopholes, how to be able to legally and ethically be able to write off the G-Wagon.
Legally and ethically.
Right? Be able to pay your children through the business and all these different things that you could do with the tax code, and just making you aware of it. And then depending on who you hire, right, there's different levels of, you know, involvement. Some people, you know, take you all the way to implementation, do everything for you and take on your taxes and do everything for you. Other individuals maybe just give you that information and share with you how to implement it. So that is essentially
levels to this.
There's different levels to it. You feel me? But that is literally, like I said, it's an investment, right? And that's someone that everyone...
It was an investment, y'all. He ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, again, having that awareness and that information is going to be key, right? And this is the thing about it. And this is 90% of the people that I work with, they already have accountants and CPAs, and they've never told them, like, none of that, zero, nada, right? But it's nothing against them, because, like I said, I had to go way out of my way. I had to literally go to conferences with people that don't look like me. You know what I'm saying?
People who really know the game.
Right, that really understand that people are working with these super high net worth individuals and sharing, hey, this is what we're doing to help our clients. This is what you could go ahead and educate them. Right.
Yeah.
Be able to
get
keep
that
money.
Trump strategy that y'all be hating on. He keeping all them coins, baby.
Listen.
So you mentioned knowing the proper entity, and I want to talk about that a little bit, because I feel like the natural step is I'm going to start an LLC. We don't even say I'm going to start a business. We literally say I'm going to start an LLC. And, you know, that's fine, right? But a lot of times people don't know the benefits of an S-CORP or different type of entities. So can you talk a little bit about the difference between an LLC and an S-CORP?
Yes. So I'll just break down the whole thing, right? So when it comes to there's legal entities and there's tax entities, right? So legal entities, that's what the LLC is. A legal entity is just basically an entity that's registered with the state, and it could possibly provide you legal protection, right? So you have a sole proprietorship. That's basically if you just sell something for $1, you're pretty much in business. That's automatic default, right? No need to talk to the state or anything about that. Then you have the LLC. The LLC is a limited liability company, and it's there for protection. So in the event that someone tries to sue your business, they can't come after your personal assets, essentially, right?
It separates you.
It separates you, right? So it creates a separate entity. So as long as you maintain the requirements in order to do that, one of the biggest things is keeping your personal and your business separated. You know, I talk a lot about that. And then you have, on top of that, you have a partnership that's basically going to business with more than one person. And then last but not least, you have a corporation. And right, a corporation also provides you that legal protection. But even those, like, they don't necessarily give you any tax benefits. Those are just legal. That's basically more of a legal aspect. What the way your taxes are figured out and calculated is based on your tax entity. So you have a sole proprietorship, you have a partnership, you have an S-Corp, and you have a C corporation, right? So you could be an LLC tax. One of the benefits of having an LLC, why so many people love LLCs, because they're flexible. So you can be a sole proprietorship, you can be a partnership, you can be an S-Corp, C-Corp. You can make what's called a entity selection with an LLC. And with the LLC, by default, you're automatically, if you're just one person running your business, you're automatically a sole proprietorship. And that's cool, right, if you're just starting off, because what happens with the sole proprietorship is that you have to pay 15.3% in self-employment tax. Right? So basically that 15.3% is going to be Social Security, Medicare. Basically, like, let's say you're working a 9 to 5, you know, you pay, basically the way it works is you pay 7.65% of taxes for payroll. The government pays, not the government, your employer pays 7.65% in taxes, right? But now that you're self-employed, you're an employee.
Doing both.
You're doing both, right? You're the boss and the employee at the same time, right? So they want to get that 15.3% on the profit of the business. So one of the things that I tell people is you should consider switching over to an S corporation if you're making more than $50,000 in profit, because if you do, then that, by switching over to an S corporation, instead of paying 15.3% on the profit of the business, now you're paying 15.3% on the salary that you're paying your business. So let's say you're making like a $500,000 in profit, instead of paying 15.3% on the $500,000, but you only pay yourself $100,000.
$20,000.
I
said we were doing legally. I'm sorry. Scratch that.
$20,000 a week,
for the record.
maybe. You know what I'm saying? But no, 20. But you pay yourself what's called a reasonable compensation.
Okay, it gotta be reasonable.
It has to be reasonable compensation, and basically it's based on. There's different ways you could do it. There's based on how much it would cost to replace you, how much would it be to pay you in a similar type of company, but there's different ways to calculate it. You know, it's good to work with a professional, figure out how to do that. But that's basically the way. That's the way it goes. Okay,
very good information. I know y'all gonna have to run that back because that was a lot. Take some notes, okay? But knowing it is so important because that 15.3, the way that it's taxed. Like the first time I ran payroll for me, I must have called my accountant so fast, like, tell me again why you told me to do this. Because the amount that I paid myself versus what showed up in my account, I was looking like, where is the money?
Yeah.
Like the government took, I don't want to talk about it. I'm still mad about that just a little bit. But that is a part of owning a business. The benefits, though, let's talk about the benefits, because a lot of people are not taking advantage of some tax deductions.
Yes.
So I want to know, obviously there's, a laundry list of tax deductions, but what are some of the most common ones that a lot of people might not be taking advantage of?
For sure. I'll just give you basically the rules for it first, and I'll break down the common ones.
Okay.
So basically the rules is, so the IRS has 4 requirements in order for you to be able to deduct things for your business. Tax write-off, basically it's a reduction in your taxable income. So the 4 requirements, I call them tax-free. It's an acronym. And the first part of that is for F. So it needs to be for your trade, business, or profession. So if you're in business, you check that box. The second part of it is it needs to be considered regular for your business, right? The IRS calls that ordinary for your business. So for instance, I have a friend, she owns an ice cream shop. What's ordinary for her business, not ordinary for my business, right? I can't be writing out ice cream cones and spoons and refrigerators, but she can do that for her business. is going to be the next part of that. It's essential. The IRS calls that necessary. So it's going to be necessary for you to operate your business, rent, utilities, all those different things. Employees are essential. And then last but not least, economical. This is the big one. Economical for your business. So the IRS calls that not lavish or extravagant under the circumstances. So basically that means based on how much money you make, that's what could determine what's reasonable for your business. All right. So one of the things I talk about is being able to write off vehicles, being able to write off the G-Wagon. All right.
Everybody want that G-Wagon.
Everybody want that G-Wagon, right? But basically the rule with that one is the vehicle needs to be weigh over 6,000 pounds in order to do it. And then, also needs to be used more than 50% for business use. And again, it needs to be for your business. Any business needs to be making substantially more than that vehicle, right? It's a six-figure vehicle, so you need to be making a lot more than that.
Do you need to be profiting a lot more than that?
You should be profiting too. You need to be profitable. Yeah, because basically what they want to avoid, because they know that let's say you make 50,000, you try to write off 100,000, now you're at negative, and then you're able to not pay any taxes, right? So they're not trying to do that. They want to make sure that you have a little bit over, and again, it's reasonable for that business. So being able to write off the vehicle, some common, I'll just give you a quick list, but common ones is business travel, right? So you can literally, sometimes you could turn your travel into your
all
lifestyle into
like, baby, let's talk about my meeting. Don't tell me.
Yeah, it's cool because you could kind of turn your lifestyle into a tax write-off, right? So when you travel, right, for business purposes, typically that's going to be if you're going to a conference, seminar, meeting someone for business purposes, then you can write off the airfare, the flight, the hotel, the Airbnb, the dinners, all that kind of stuff, right? That's going to be a deduction for your business. Another thing is the business meals, right? So if you're talking to someone for business purposes, you're looking to do business, then you can go ahead and write that off. That's another opportunity. Supplies and utilities, so equipment as well. A cell phone is considered equipment. So if you're using a phone for business purposes, if it's 100% for business, then boom, 100% that bill out of here, right? Again, if you're making good money in your business. Paying your children through the business is a big one, right? So, you and I, we just had little babies. Little ones, right? So
he need a job, and I can give him one.
So you could pay your child up to $12,950, which is the standard deduction amount. And basically, you want to make sure that they perform legitimate services for your business.
He's a model.
Well, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna speak on the model real quick. I'm gonna speak on the model real quick.
Legal or ethical?
You know what I'm saying.
It might not be legal or ethical.
It depends. I'll say this. I'll speak on a prior court case by the IRS.
Oh,
No, check this out.
Joking, guys.
No. I'm listen. You good?
I'm scared.
I promise. You good?
Okay.
I promise.
All
You good?
right.
Check this out. No, so there's a court case where the IRS, there was a 7-year-old and their parents paid their children through the business, and that was fine. So what I tell people publicly is like, hey, 7 years and plus, that is a legitimate.
That was gonna be my question.
7 years plus is a good age to do it. Now people do it under that age, right? But then that's when the gray area. You know what I'm saying? That's when they're gonna be like, hold on.
What was this baby really doing?
What was this exactly? And at the end of the day, they're not gonna kick down your door. It's going.
I don't know. They kicked down Nicole.
Well, then Nicole might be, you know what I'm saying, she's in a different situation, but it's going to be they're going to ask you questions, try to understand why are you paying someone who's under 7 in the business, but I'm not saying that people don't do it, but
if you have a hair care line and your baby is truly the model for this hair care line, or you have a clothing line and he's literally the face of your baby collect, could that be possible? Maybe. It's still gray.
It's possible.
It's still a little gray.
It's possible. It gets in that.
So don't quote us on that.
It's in the gray area.
Okay.
But what I could say is past 7 is typically the safe zone. Anything else, you just got to be. You got to be prepared to be able to defend your case, right? So if you're working with someone that can defend you, and like I said, a CPA can do that, and a enrolled agent can do that, and they can defend your positions. Like, no, this is exactly what the child was doing. You're recording the timesheets, right? You're recording the hours. They have a job description.
Photo, 1 hour because he wouldn't sit still.
There you go.
Okay, all right. As long as you got your receipts.
Yeah, you got to have the receipts, and you just got to be able to document it, essentially.
So I got one more personal question, y'all. I'm sorry, I'll be a little selfish, but I get paid to speak, right? That's business.
Yes.
Do my outfits count? Are they tax write-offs?
Ooh.
Real question. My makeup, does it count? Is it a tax write-off? It seems necessary. It seems like the FRE.
Yeah, it seems like it checks the boxes. I would say the IRS. So we're in a newer space now, right? So I think they're still trying to catch up to these times. Okay. But I'll tell you this is if these are things that you want to write off, here's a couple of ways that you can, that historically has been fine to do. So for your outfits, right? If your outfit has your logo or your business name on it or whatever the case is, typically they're okay with that. If you're going to speak at an event, right? One of the challenges with that is I don't think they like the idea of you being able to wear it in your personal life.
Wearing it again.
Yeah. So let's say this is not legal or professional advice. This is just
Put that disclaimer out there.
It's just a suggestion. But if you were to rent it, right? Go rent the runway or whatever the case is. You go ahead one day, boom, boom, boom. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Then
that's a way.
Then that could be a way to do it for that event. If you could justify why you need to rent it.
I can't wear this makeup again. What about that?
You can't, but yeah,
I'm risking it. You just, I gotta make sure I got me a real good CPA to answer these questions.
Exactly. But and that's another good point that you bring, right? So everyone's risk tolerance is different. You know what I'm saying? So some people might tell you that girl, go ahead, write it off. I'll put the paperwork and write the letters and do what I need to do. Other people are like, no, that's absolutely a no. And for me, I'm more of it's possible. We just got to figure out, you know, how to make it make sense. How to make it make sense, because again, it's law. You know what I'm saying? In law, they keep it open, they keep it gray, intentionally to give you flexibility, so that they can't list out every single situation, right? But if you look at the law, and again, it checks the boxes, and you reference it and say, hey, this is worth in this situation, and back it up, then it's straight. Like another example is, there was someone that was working at the polo store, right? Polo Ralph Lauren, one of the requirements, you got to wear a polo. He was trying to write it off, and they said no, because again, he's like, we know you're about to wear that polo out in the club, you know, and just be outside. It got the logo on it, though. It got the logo of the company, but he was trying to write off under unemployed.
He was really trying. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even for business. This is when they used to let you write off for unreimbursed employment expenses. Ah,
got you. Okay.
And he was trying to say, oh well, I had to buy this in order to work here, which is true. But unfortunately, they didn't care.
Okay, so last question about deductions, because I think this is a big one that a lot of people don't talk about, and hopefully I'm right about this. Writing off marketing, coaching, classes, are those legal and ethical write-offs? Can I write off this mastermind, this very expensive mastermind that I've invested in? Is it a tax write-off?
Listen, that's my biggest write-off.
Woo! Baby. Okay.
That's my biggest write-off. Okay. Yeah.
So 100%. That I think gives people a little bit of a I guess a booster, eases your mind, because some of these price tags are like, baby, how can I make it make sense? But it is an investment, because if you can pay $100,000 and learn how to make $1 million, that $100,000 is nothing but a drop in the bucket. So
1,000%.
That's something to keep in mind if you've been on the fence about whether or not, you know, you want to make an investment. If you have confidence in yourself that you can turn that investment into something, then you could also write it off without going to jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a big no. That's a great point that you bring up too, because I tell people are always looking for ways to write off, and people talking about write-offs and stuff, but like, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing, at the end of the day, you're still spending the money, whether you put it on a credit card, whether it's coming out of your business, like it's still coming out your account. You know what I'm saying? So like, make it make sense. But that masterminds, marketing, advertising, absolutely, because they're designed to help you make more money in the business, and that's what the government wants you to do, is make more money in your business.
So they could take a little bit more of it. Okay, so let's switch gears, because we talk about the money, but we also like to talk about the honey. And you are, wave it. Yes. He is a married man, y'all, so we got to get into the mind of a man. Yes. One of the questions that single ladies always want to know, like it's just like burning them up inside, is to know what either stood out about your wife, or what was that thing or things that made you feel like, okay, this is wife material right here. Because a lot of women, we can get hollered at, we could get sexed down, but that doesn't mean somebody wants to commit to you. That doesn't mean that somebody wants to take you serious. So what was it about your beautiful wife, hey Raquel girl, that made you say, okay, it's something different here?
Yeah, so we have I would say a little bit more of a unique story. So we're college sweethearts. So we met in college.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So we both went to the University of Florida. Gators, and we're actually friends. We were friends for a long time. So she
That's it, right?
She didn't. Yeah, she just kept. You know what I'm saying? She kept every time I try to. You know,
she was trying to friend zone you.
I was in the friend zone for years. I'm talking about years. I think I was in the friend zone for at least 3 years.
Maybe a friend zone success story, y'all.
Yes, it happens. Hope. There's hope. There's hope.
I love that.
And yeah, but the dope thing was she was an amazing friend. Like she always held me down. Like she always motivated me. She always supported me. And like, you know, I want to be an entrepreneur, right? I'm literally going through, you know, this accounting program and all this stuff. But on the side, I wanted to be a rapper.
To figure things out.
I was trying to figure things out. I was trying to start a little rap career and doing auditions and going to the studio. And she was just like, "I got you. I'll buy you a microphone. I'm gonna pay for your studio." Like, and just held me down. And that's when I was just like, okay, yeah, this is the one, because not every female's gonna go for that.
Yeah. And look, baby, let me give you your flowers, because supporting a rap dream, that's like a special kind of woman, okay? But when you mention support, I attended, so I know Raquel. I didn't even know y'all were married, first of all. I knew Raquel. I had met you years ago.
Yeah.
And then I came to Raquel's wine cruise. She threw this dope wine cruise, okay? And he was the DJ. And I was trying to put two and two together, and still I didn't put it together that y'all were married. But then later, I think she might have mentioned it, and I'm like, wow, that's real support. I mean, I thought you was just throwing on a DJ hat just because she needed a DJ, but that's obviously your lane.
Yeah.
But that support, I think, is just the friendship and the support sounds like is like the recipe.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with like our relationship. Marriage is literally based on our friendship, right? So there's a mutual respect for one another, and just like, again, just like really, that support is everything, right? So we literally husband and wife, lovers and friends, like all the things. All the things.
I love it. And y'all are mama and daddy. Y'all got a little baby girl, like 3 months old now, right? How has the transition been? Because even for like me and my man, we lovers and friends, but baby, when that baby came along, I was looking at him like, okay, lover, friend.
Yeah.
I need daddy to show, like it was a whole different thing, a whole different thing. So how has that, I don't want to say affected your relationship, but how has that, I guess, changed things? Or has it?
Yeah, it's 100% changed everything, right?
All the things.
But it's all the things, right? But it was interesting because I was praying to God to be closer to my family, and I think it was literally what I needed to like really help me focus. Like you can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just be outside. When I say outside, I mean like going to networking events and conferences and all that stuff. Because I go out to a lot of these things where I invest a lot in myself, but it really helped me prioritize the family, and it's just helped our relationship. Our relationship got stronger, and we grew because now we're being tested. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
We're being tested every single day about our patience, our tolerance, what we're able to do middle of the night, waking up, helping, supporting, stepping up, like emotional.
The partnership of it all.
Yeah.
Whew. What would you say has been like the number one lesson that, because entrepreneurship is a beast, but a baby is like a beast times 10. What would you say has been like your biggest lesson? Because we ask women this all the time, but we don't usually get to hear from the daddies. So what's been your biggest lesson learned so far in fatherhood?
My biggest lesson is just enjoy the moment. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy being present, because I see her and like she's starting to like smile and do all these things and like look around, and she's just like, she's not worried about the bills. She's not worried about the drama that's going on Instagram and television. Like she's just here and enjoying life and like really appreciating, like laughing at, like birds are flying around. She's laughing and
so entertained by the smallest things.
Entertained, and it just helps remind you like, yo, this is what life is, really about. Like forget all the money and all this stuff is good, but like let's just enjoy, what I'm saying, what we have and being together and just
I love it. We are all about the Black family here on the podcast. So anybody out there that's been saying you have baby fever, I need you to get that out of your vocabulary. You have family fever. Okay? Because baby, you don't want to do this thing alone. Let me just tell you. Okay, so before we go, we got to play a little game.
Yes.
It's called Top 5.
Top 5.
You can call it this or that. I got 5 questions though. I'm going to just name 2 options. You pick one.
Okay.
You ready?
Let's go.
112 or Drew Hill?
112.
Nobody ever says Drew Hill.
Don't judge
That's
me.
why I keep, if y'all like, why she always asking? Because I'm waiting for somebody to say Drew Hill.
I think it's because 112 had the bad boy push. Like, they really, he just put them out there. I don't know.
No, I'm not convinced. Peaches and cream is all that they had for me. Okay, talk or text?
Text.
He's like,
I'm not talking. No, yeah.
Fresh Prince or Martin?
Fresh Prince.
Okay. Mike Epps or Cat Williams?
Cat Williams.
All right. Miami or Vegas?
Ooh. I'm from Miami, so
okay.
Yeah.
Dang, I ain't know that. Okay. Well, listen, this has been not just a great conversation, but some really great information that our community, I feel like we've been late to the party on a lot of these conversations. Sure. So I know they learned a lot, but you got so much more to offer. So look into this camera right here and let the people know where they can find you online. We'll definitely drop it in the description below, but also let them know where they can follow you on Instagram.
Yes, y'all. You can follow me on Instagram at Michel, MichelValbrun. I'm most active on Instagram, on all social media platforms. I also am now launching a program where I'm helping accounting and tax professionals be able to grow and scale their accounting business and really help them to get to that elite level where we're out here educating and helping business owners and entrepreneurs be able to keep more of their money and also maximize their wealth. So you can do that as well. So it's going to be at elitefirmpros.com. I have a free masterclass. Make sure you tap into that. You can also text me if you're interested in learning more about saving money on taxes. Text me at text free to 404-737-1475. And that's all I got. And I got a little tax rap if I can, you know what I'm saying?
These tax bars. Y'all, go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Bar. You gonna pull your shades out?
I left the Versace's in the car. All right, check this out. Yo, I've been in the game for years. It made me an animal. There's rules to this code. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get. Your game off track, the feds off your back. Rule number uno, let the IRS know how much dough you hold. Cause you know, evasion breeds penalties, especially if that prep messed up. Watch your tax go up. Number 2, document expenses you could prove. Don't you know them boys treat lying like violence? Take it from your highness. I done seen mad cats and chicks for their schemes and tricks. Number 3, go form an LLC. A lawyer set that up. Properly draft up. Dina and the stay up, yup, for them big bucks to get the paperwork cleaned up. Word up. Number 4, I know you heard this before. Always rely on your CPA guy. Number 5, never tax prep where you rest at. I don't care if you do it free, tell them leave. Number 6, that tax advance credit, dead it. They think they're doing you a favor, no forget it. 7, this rule is so underrated. Keep your personal and business completely separated. Business and blood don't mix like politics with no tricks. Find your business serious risk. Number 8, know the date your taxes due. If you miss the deadline, they'll be coming for you. Number 9 should have been number 1 to me. If you start a business, stay away from hobbies. If they thinking it's a hobby, they ain't trying to listen. You be stressing in the kitchen when them letters start hitting. Number 10, a strong word, corporation, strictly for bizmen, not for freshmen. If you ain't got investors, then say hell no, cause they gonna want their money, rain, sleet, hell, snow. Yo, follow these rules. You have mad bread to break up. If not, 24 years on the wake up. Flow hit your temple, watch your friends shake up. Caretaker, did you make up when you passed my bag? I hope you rake up a lot of cash with beachfront in Jamaica with the Michelin star. Shut the hook steak up. Gotta go. More returns to make up. Word up, Task King.
Listen, Task King. We ain't never had a rapper in the building. He said, baby, I still got rap dreams.
I got bars. Listen,
I got these rhymes, and he be rapping on Instagram too. So if you want some more of that, make sure you are following him, y'all. Another bomb episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and share this episode with somebody who don't want to go to jail. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye, y'all. Peace.
Girl, hey, I hope you enjoyed that video. This channel is all about encouraging you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. And comment below and let me know what you want to see on the next video. Peace out.